It's said the world is a small place, yet it is big enough that most people never know or experience the diversity and beauty that it holds. I knew that I wanted to experience the world since a young age, and when I was in 11th grade, I decided to act upon this desire rather than continue to simply dream about it. Every year my high school had planned a trip to a foreign country, and every year I didn't go. It never crossed my mind that I would be able to go because I had monetary restrictions. I don't remember what sparked my interest. Maybe it was the fact that my girlfriend was also going, but one day I said, you know what? I'm gonna go on this trip. And I did. Money was the biggest issue. I started with nothing, but I ended up with a total of about $4,000 raised by the end of the trip. I got a job as a dishwasher at a nearby ski resort and worked there for about 10 months. The school also had several fundraisers, which helped me out a lot. It was tough saving every single penny that I earned, but I knew it would be worth it in the end. We departed from Boston on April 9th of this year, and I was on my way to my first stop, France. It was my first time flying, and I didn't know what to expect. But what I saw took my breath away. Looking down upon the lights of Boston and then the ocean was surreal. It felt as if I understood at that moment what it was like to be a bird. After about 7 hours, only maybe 2 of them actually being sleep, we touched down in France. Exiting the plane was like entering a different world. I understood no one, and I felt like I was a child trying to understand the world again. We visited every tourist attraction you can think of, and then some. I visited the Louvre, where I saw the Mona Lisa and many other famous artworks, the Palace of Versailles, much of rural France, the D-Day beach of Normandy, and a memorial graveyard, and very beautiful small towns. And of course, I visited the Eiffel Tower. It really is even more spectacular than it looks in pictures. I was fortunate enough to be able to spend each of these locations with my wonderful girlfriend of now almost 2 years. That really made the trip so much more special, and I'm sure it is something we will both remember for the rest of our lives. Unfortunately, I had to leave France, but this was not the end of my trip. Stop 2 was on its way. We were on the Eurostar heading towards England. After experiencing such a culture shock in France, England seemed more like home. It was filled with funny-speaking people, but at least I could understand them, and everyone was driving on the wrong side of the road. Other than that though, London reminded me heavily of a parallel universe of New York City. I was able to visit Big Ben, Buckingham Palace, the London Eye, the British Museum, and many other locations during my time in England. We only stayed there for 2 days, and then were forced to gather ourselves in preparation for the trip back home. It was very depressing knowing that I had to leave these places. I did not feel homesick, and probably could have stayed in France for many more months, but I felt happy knowing that the experience was had. The trip really helped to open up my eyes about the immense world that we live in. We live our daily lives, but so do other people in France, Africa, Asia, everywhere. People live their lives as they usually do, unaware how unique they are to other people across the globe. I now desire to see so many more parts of the world, to see what other lifestyles are out there, and how they compare to my own. The world is just there, waiting to be seen. I just have to push myself to say, you know what? I'm going to go on this trip.
To complain about